Chondrocytes are the cells Bismillah الرحمن الرحيم. I'd like to welcome my dear students today to talk about the histology of cartilage. As you know, cartilage is a firm avascular connective tissue. It is an integral part of our skeleton, and it consists of cells which is called chondrocytes. Chondrocytes are the cells of cartilage. Chondro usually refers to cartilage, and cytes are cells. Cartilage is produced and maintained by these chondrocytes, and the matrix is characterized by the presence of glycosaminoglycans, which is abbreviated as GAGs, and contains a good amount of collagen type 2, collagen inside the matrix, generally speaking. So in the matrix of cartilage, we don't have a blood vessel, we don't have lymphatic, we don't have nerves inside the matrix. But these components can be found in the surrounding layer of cartilage, which is called the perichondrium. In the perichondrium, we can find blood and lymph and nerves, but inside the matrix of cartilage, the main area of cartilage, there is no blood vessels or inside the matrix. The cells receive their nourishment from the surrounding connective tissue, from the perichondrium. And the healing of cartilage is relatively slow process, a slow process similar to bones. The perichondrium is a connective tissue sheath, as I said, that surrounds cartilage. It has two main layers, an outer fibrous layer, which consists of connective tissue fibers, collagen fibers, and inner cellular layer, which secretes the matrix and helps in healing and growth of cartilage. What about the functions of cartilage? All of us know the functions of cartilage. It incorporates or acts as an integral part of and flexibility to joints, and it covers the end of bones forming joints and help in the growth of bones and formation, help in the formation of bones as well. Properties of cartilage. Cartilage is different from other types of connective tissue. Why? Because it bears strength and pressure. It bears strength and like joints like intervertebral discs and synovial joints. And these joints are exposed to a high pressure, continuous pressure. The cartilage has a low metabolic rate, doesn't consume much energy, is limited, relatively low in growth and healing, and it is avascular. It doesn't have vessels inside the matrix. Cartilage is similar, is just like other types of connective tissue, consists of two major components. The matrix, which is the majority of the volume, contains much matrix, large amount of matrix, and relatively few amount of cells. The matrix of cartilage, as I said, contain large amount of GAGs, glycosaminoglycans, which help for diffusion of blood and nourishment from the surrounding connective tissue, and has hyaluronic acid, and also a variable amount of water and collagen type 2. These components help the cartilage to work as a shock absorber media and gives its firm composition and flexibility in certain area of tissues. Types of cartilage. I want you to pay attention to this particular slide because it summarizes our today lecture. Here we find the three major types of cartilage. The hyaline one, first hyaline cartilage, second elastic cartilage, and third is the fibrous cartilage. Hyaline cartilage typically has a homogeneous amorphous matrix which looks transparent and bluish in staining. And this matrix contains type 2 collagen, while elastic type is similar to the hyaline, but it contains large amount of elastic fibers, which make it, that's why it is called elastic cartilage. The third one is the fibrous cartilage, or the wide fibrocartilage, which is actually a mixture of dense connective tissue. A dense connective tissue means big volume of parallel or unparalleled fibers, collagen fibers, collagen type 1 fibers actually. Type 1 collagen, as you know, is a tough type which resists stretch and resists pressure, and that's why this type is found in the weight-bearing areas. First, let's take a look at each type of cartilage, a deeper look. The hyaline one, as you know, have a particular feature which is the transparent matrix, and that's why we call it hyaline. Hyaline is transparent. It doesn't have visible intercellular fibers. Intercellular matrix is transparent, looks homogeneous, and the major type of cell is the chondrocytes. Are the chondrocytes. The chondrocytes may be found individually here or found in groups of 2 cells or more, 4 cells, 6 cells, whatever. These groups are called cell nests or isogenous groups, which is formed by mitosis of chondrocytes. The matrix of hyaline cartilage contains type 2 collagen. We have to mention also this whitish area that surround individual the chondrocyte, which is called the territorial matrix. If you take a zoomer look, if you zoom here, you see this whitish area around or surrounding the individual chondrocyte. This is called the territorial matrix. The other interstitial media or matrix here is called the interterritorial matrix. The interterritorial matrix. The interterritorial matrix may contain type 3 collagen fibers, and it looks somewhat darker than territorial matrix. Okay, let's see this beautiful diagram which is close to the perichondrium. Here the perichondrium, see this perichondrial fibroblast here, which forms the fibers of the perichondrium. And here is the chondroblast, which forms the cartilage matrix and gradually transform into mature chondrocyte and gets trapped, becomes trapped inside the territorial matrix or lacunae, L-A-C-A, lacunae. Lacunae is a particular feature of cartilage and bone. The cells are found in lacunae. Hyaline cartilage is the most common type of cartilage. If you look at our skeleton, you'll find it the most widely found type of cartilage. Cartilage fibers are evenly dispersed throughout the ground substance and are actually invisible. And the functions of hyaline cartilage, if you see or remember where we can find the hyaline cartilage, it forms the embryonic skeleton and acts as a precursor of bones and helps in the endochondral bone formation. Hyaline cartilage is found in the areas where it needs a strong support and little amount of flexibility, like the tracheal rings and the costal cartilage and the synovial joints here. See this joint, the synovial joints, the ends of bones are covered by hyaline cartilage. We have to say that in the later one, in the articular cartilage, this type of cartilage, of hyaline cartilage, does not have perichondrium. It doesn't have a perichondrial layer. And it is nourished by the synovial fluid. This section here, this diagram, illustrates the area of hyaline cartilage. And if we take a section here, it looks like this. Typically, the hyaline cartilage looks like this. The ground substance is bluish and transparent and homogeneous, and the cells may be found singly or in groups. The perichondrium is a unique area. We can find an outer layer here, an inner layer. The outer layer is fibrous. Here in the yellow arrow, see, this is the outer layer, collagen fibers and fibroblasts. And the inner layer is most cellular, the area where it regenerates, where it forms other cells. The fibroblasts and chondroblasts here, and mesenchymal stem cells. The elastic cartilage has much or too much elastic fibers, has many elastic fibers in the matrix, and plus the collagen type 2 and proteoglycans like hyaline cartilage. So it is a hyaline cartilage plus elastic fibers. The elastic cartilage in the fresh state looks yellowish in color. Sometimes people call it yellow elastic cartilage, and the yellow cartilage, and it's found in the rigid elastic areas, which typically we, as we say to our students, in the things, the structures starts by E, like elastic, like like external ear, like Eustachian tube, like epiglottis, and also in the larynx, the laryngeal cartilage. If you look at this micrograph, you can see the perichondrium here. The elastic cartilage has two perichondrial layers, the outer and inner, or from two sides. This is a sandwich of cartilage. The ear pinna, you can look at the ear pinna, you find an perichondrial layer here from the right and from the left side, enclosing the elastic cartilage in between. And if you look at the intercellular areas, it is rich in elastic fibers, which is somewhat deeper in color. Elastic cartilage is distinguished by presence of elastin, which we can stain it by resorcin foxin. The cells of elastic cartilage are found in lacunae or lacuna, here, the whitish area surrounding the cells, which is called the territorial matrix. Also, these cells are similar to the hyaline cartilage in the cells can be found in isogynous groups, cell nests, and it has a perichondrium, and the matrix fibers are either elastic or type 2 collagen fibers. The structure of elastic cartilage suits its function. So it is usually found where flexibility is needed, like the ear pinna and other flexible structures. The elastic cartilage, look at this slide. This one is stained with another, I think this is Mallory stain that stains the collagen with blue color. The elastic fibers of matrix is stained here in blue, and the chondrocytes are found in lacunae. Look at this one with hematoxylin that you've seen, and this is an ear pinna cut section. The ear pinna, actually, this is a layer of the skin, epidermis, and this is the dermis of the skin, the dermis and epidermis of the skin, followed by the area of elastic cartilage. First, here you'll find the perichondrium here, and the elastic fibers, the elastic cartilage, and another perichondrium from the other side, and another skin from the other side here. And take a look at the high power on the right side here to see the dense condensation, the condensation of elastic fibers in between the chondrocytes. The third type of cartilage is the fibrocartilage. This one differs greatly from the other types because it doesn't have a perichondrium. This one doesn't possess a perichondrium surrounding like other types of cartilage. And this one actually, it looks like a dense connective tissue, but enclosing few chondrocytes. The chondrocytes, the cells of cartilage here, appear smaller in size like this and fewer in amount. The amount of cells are fewer and maybe arranged in rows. Some areas, maybe you can see this area, these cells are forming rows. The fibrocartilage contain the collagen type 1 is very rich in collagen type 1, similar to dense connective tissue. And it is thus found in the weight-bearing areas like the intervertebral discs here, the intervertebral. Look at this image. You see this chondroblast, the chondrocytes. The chondrocytes are small and arranged in rows, forming rows here, continuous with each other here and here, and a large amount of collagen fibers running between or compressing these cells in between. The stain here is Mallory trichrome. Fibrocartilage, where we can find it? We find it in the tough areas that needs a tough type of cartilage that resists pressure. It is strong one, stronger one. It is somewhat, you see in the weight-bearing areas like intervertebral discs, in the symphysis pubis, And in the TMG is a particular type of joint in the mandible which helps in mastication, the temporomandibular joint. This one also has a fibrocartilage. Function of fibrocartilage, it provides firm support and tensile strength and resist compression and shear forces. Look at this slide also. Let's see the magnification of the previous one, the small chondrocytes here, and large amount of collagen type 1 fibers here. Another slide with another stain here. The collagen takes the majority of matrix, consists of collagen fibers, collagen type 1, and few amount of chondrocytes in between. I think we've finished our talk today. Let's talk about finally we'll talk about the growth of cartilage. Development of cartilage, where it comes from. It comes from the mesenchyme, which differentiate into chondroblasts and gives chondrocytes. There are two types of growth. Growth of cartilage may be provided by appositional growth or interstitial growth. The appositional growth comes from the perichondrium. If you look at the cartilage, here, for instance, you'll find this area of the perichondrium. If it grows, it provides or gives the cartilage the ability to grow in diameter. It helps to enlarge the cartilage diameter like this. So this is called appositional growth. The other type of growth is the division facilitated by or helped by the division of chondrocytes. Division of chondrocytes here in between the matrix cells. If these cells divide continuously, then it provides both growth in diameter and in the length. But however, the interstitial type of growth helps the cartilage to grow in length more than in diameter. The growth of cartilage is aided or stimulated by growth hormone like other tissues, thyroxine, and testosterone as well. It stimulates the growth of cartilage, while corticosteroids inhibit the growth of cartilage. Repair of cartilage generally heals but slowly. And if the damage of cartilage is extensive, then it heals by formation of fibrous connective tissue, and thus forming a scar. The scar is the area of collagen and fibroblast that usually replace the area, the damaged area in the pathological conditions. Sometimes the hyaline cartilage gets calcified or replaced by bone when it grows in the ends in the epiphyseal cartilage during the growth periods. And that by today, I think we have finished our talk today about cartilage. I hope you enjoyed it, and thank you very much for listening, and goodbye. I think we have finished our talk today about cartilage. I hope you